He's in there.
What makes you say that?
I don't know.
It's been a while since I've had a real trouble coming up with a snazzy intro to one of my reviews. Maybe it's because of the movie's topic or the movie's themes, but I was left kind of speechless. This movie is one of the reasons why I encourage other people and myself to try something new and to take a leap of faith, because you might find something that is good or bad, but you'll probably know it immediately. So what happened to me when I dipped my toes into this movie? Let's find out. I'm Meffistoe. Like, share, and subscribe because this is my review of the movie Longlegs.
You identified the suspect's house. No prior knowledge, no real indication that it was any way different than all the cookie cutters all around it.
The story of Longlegs begins with a prologue, but I won't discuss it because it has crucial information about the movie. However, when the movie begins honestly, we see Lee Harker, an FBI agent, being tasked to canvass an area in order to find a murderer. She somehow has a hunch about his whereabouts, which turns out to be true, and convinces her superiors that she is a psychic.
You beat that numbers generator 8 times. How'd you do that?
I also missed it 8 times.
She is quickly being reassigned to an investigation that has gone dormant for a while now. It seems like a bunch of random families have been murdered by the father of the household and then committed suicide. All these families didn't know anything about each other and the other murders, and apart from being gruesome, didn't really have any unique method of dispatching.
2 times a shotgun, both legally registered to the father. 8 times a knife from the family's kitchen. Once a hammer from the family's toolbox.
The only common thing about them is the fact that a letter was left behind written in a cipher but signed Longlegs. This puts Lee Harker on a path that triggers her memories from the past that may or may not have happened and steer her straight towards the belly of the beast.
Someone or something is making the fathers do it. So far, we've been goddamn to figure out what or who.
Longlegs is just that kind of a horror film I can get behind and recommend to people. In many ways, it is closer to a manhunt thriller, similar to Silence of the Lambs, without the Hannibal Lecter part supplying us with information, and frankly, some dread. But if you have watched Silence of the Lambs, you'll pick up a few things here and there that will show you that the director of this movie was really inspired by Silence of the Lambs, and frankly, woven in a few things that was directly lifted from that movie.
You know, there's such a thing as looking too long.
I must have lost track of time.
Maika Monroe as Lee Harker does the heavy lifting in this movie just as much as Jodie Foster does in Silence of the Lambs. She's the girl in a predominantly male-dominated profession, but she stands apart from them because her seemingly weird and funky abilities. Monroe manages to look detached and almost autistic at times, but that is only a facade for a thoughtful lady that bears a burden.
I actually wanted to be an actress.
That messes up kids.
So they say.
The actor that truly brings everybody to the dance is Nick Cage, though. Even under a cover of makeup that makes him look like an otherworldly demon or a pale mare, he manages to bring his Cageisms in a weird and creepy way. All throughout the movie, you never can tell if he's just a murderous kook or a real-life manifestation of something more sinister. He only has a few minutes in the movie, and every single one of them gives you a piece of the story and keeps you guessing on what is really going on. And this is another low-budget indie-style movie of Nicolas Cage that I've loved watching, and it is indicative of how good an actor he really is.
Cuckoo, 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 cuckoo.
I don't know what that was supposed to be.
Like I mentioned, Longlegs definitely wanted to capture that Silence of the Lamb feeling, but it carves its own path. It doesn't really tell you what year it is unless you pay attention to the pictures on the wall and the technology that was used. Like a good detective story, the movie unfolds slowly, gathering piece by piece until the very end when the harsh realities unfold. It always skirts the line between the supernatural and the grounded, keeping us as the audience on a knife's edge, seeking to know which one is which. But Longlegs isn't a perfect movie. There were a few things that bothered me about it. There was was an overuse of a screeching high-pitched score in the jump scare moments that were a bit too much, as if the director really wanted people to jump off their seats. I did, but not because it was super scary, just because I wanted to jump in and grab my remote and turn the volume down. Yes, I've only seen this on a streaming service, but this is because horror films don't really interest me enough to go and pay a ticket and watch it in the theater.
Tells the families what he wants them to do. To themselves, to each other, and then they do it.
I do, however, recommend this movie to watch. And if you really want to creep yourself out, watch it in complete darkness. The movie is entertaining, engaging, and for the lovers of the horror genre, creepy and scary. Great performances by both the main actors, but also from the supporting cast like Alicia Witt or Blair Underwood. The movie will keep you on the back foot, trying to puzzle all the pieces in, and when it only does it in just 100 minutes, you got yourself a movie that keeps flowing from one scene into the next. And in the 100 minutes it's got, it doesn't have a lot of lull moments.
Come on, let's go for a drink.
You'll have to excuse me. It's late and I don't drink.
You don't drink, you're right. I'll drink.
I thank you for watching, and remember, hope is a good thing, maybe even the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. I'll see you on the next video.